you ever sent an email to your list and thought, why is nobody opening this? Why is no one clicking? Why isn't this converting? Raising my hand, I've had those thoughts. What if your email isn't the problem? What if you're sending the right email to the wrong people? You see, different people need different conversations. Let me say that again. Different people need different conversations. I'm Carrie Beck with Family eBiz, where we help families start and scale businesses so they can find freedom in their life to do what they are called to do. And today in business, we're talking about the one email mistake that costs creators sales, costs bloggers and podcasters sales. You see, most creators see one email list, one audience, and one message. But the reality is inside your email list, there is a variety of people. You have brand new subscribers, you have regular readers, you have people who click, buyers, people who don't even open and haven't in months. They are not the same people. And yet, most of us, content creators, bloggers, podcasts, online businesses, we talk to each of them exactly the same way. That was one thing that ConvertKit, when they built their system, their platform, feel like a sneeze is coming. They built it around the idea that creators needed to build deeper relationships with their audience. And over time, they added subscriber organization and segmentation tools. I know AWeber did the same thing because creators serve different groups of people. They said, we understand that you're trying to build what you're trying to build and why it matters. And here's what Kit said. We know your business is personal. It's how you support your family, share your expertise, and serve your community. We're not just building software for creators, we're building it with you. And a good email service provider will do that as well. But they saw that everyone's audience wasn't all the same. I know for me on AWeber, I am so thankful that they give me tools inside of there that I can send one email to this group or one email to that. And I don't mean my two businesses. For those of you that don't know, I have a homeschool business and I have a family biz business. They're two different lists. But within the homeschool, I have all different groups of people that I send. With family eBiz and the homeschool bloggers, I have different things and different ways to contact them because they're different kinds of people. You see, it was multiple groups that we need. That's what I needed. Let's think about this. A new subscriber, they are still learning who you are. They don't know you. Do they like you or trust you? I don't know, but you've got to address that issue. If you are talking to a buyer and they've bought products from you in the past, they probably trust you already. You don't have to build that know, like, and trust factor. If you have an inactive subscriber, a dormant subscriber, they may not even remember who you are. So you need to approach them differently. And then you have some people that are just regular readers. They consume everything you publish. And so you're going to talk to them a little differently. Those are just four groups. There can be a variety of groups that you talk to. Should all four of these groups get the same type of communication? Probably not. Maybe your list isn't ignoring you. Maybe you're talking to everyone the same way. So I want you to do this week. I want you to think about your list. What groups are inside your list? I don't want you to build anything. I don't want you to create tags or segment them. I want you to think of, say, 5 main groups in your list and write them down. Do you even know who they are? Or do you need to go back and take a look at what types of emails and what people have been opening or what they are responding to? And then I want you to identify who are these groups, maybe up to 5. If you get 10, that's a way too many. We got to start with something that's manageable. So just come up with up to 5 different groups that are in your, yes, there's alarm, there's real life. Will I edit that out? I don't know. Let's talk about the skim. They built different conversations. They grew by understanding exactly who their audience was and speaking directly to their audience needs. Here's what I read about them. They are dedicated to succinctly giving women the information they need to make confident decisions in their lives so they will live smarter. Their success came from relevant communication, not generic. Now, when I looked at it, I don't really agree with some of their perspective. I read some of their blog posts, some of their content. It's just not my perspective, but I do like the idea. They have chosen a tight niche. It is women and trying to help them make wise decisions. Do you know who your audience is? And do you have some subsets of those audiences that you need to speak to differently? You see, relevance drives engagement. Generic messaging, it's just going to get ignored. Even if they open it, there's like, listen for me. So we've got to speak specifically to the people that are opening our emails. I think a lot of people, you think, oh, they got all these people unsubscribing. And that happens to me too, but they don't unsubscribe usually because you've emailed too much. I'll tell you a little story. I had someone about 2 weeks ago. She's like, "You're killing me with all." She was new to my list. Somehow she bought two or three products, so she was getting messages from all of them, which made me think I got to go back and relook at some of those messaging, some of my follow-ups. But she just wanted me to know she was overwhelmed. But she was a recent buyer. She bought my products and she did not want to get off my list. She goes, "These are things that can help me, but I'm overwhelmed by the emails." I was like, great feedback. I was sending things that were relevant to help her solve her problem, and she didn't unsubscribe. You see, often they unsubscribe because the content feels irrelevant. It doesn't match where they are. They can't identify themselves in it. It doesn't solve their current problem. People want relevant communication, relevant solutions, and relevant next steps. So if you're sending something generic, it may not be for them. And different people need different conversations. I was actually taking a Facebook seminar a few weeks ago, and they suggested having different sales pages, one for your cold audience, one for your webinar audience, and one for your warm audience. I didn't have the time to do it at that moment, but that is one thing I am planning to implement the next time I launch Raising Leaders. One are my Facebook ads, cold audience, or my lead magnets for my affiliates. Those will be cold audience. And I need to build that know, like, and trust. The people that come on my webinar, they're going to get a different sales page. I don't have to give them as much information, or my past customers and my warm audience. I don't have to give as much information about who I am. I can dive into how it will help them. Different people need different conversations. Most creators know they should organize their list better, but they never do it. Not because they're lazy, but because they're alone. They spend hours watching tutorials. That drives me crazy. But for me, I get tired of like, just tell me how to do it. But some of you would rather spend your time hours watching tutorials, hours researching, hours trying to piece together advice. And then they never implement and they're stuck in decision fatigue. Why? Decision fatigue. Because there's so much information, they cannot make a decision about what to do, how to set up their email marketing so it is successful, and they have more opportunities to make sales. Community matters as solopreneurs. Sometimes a 5-minute conversation saves 5 hours of frustration. I know sometimes I can get on a Zoom call for 5 minutes with someone that's my peer, and I have got the problem. Otherwise, I am spending hours researching and trying to figure it out. And I don't want to do that. You see, most successful content creators, podcasters, bloggers, they eventually discover they have multiple audiences hidden inside one email list. Could that be you? For me personally, and I'm going to use my homeschool as an example, I have my Raising Leaders people. They could be customers or they could be interested parties. I have, well, actually, this isn't all. I also have Family Evis, Homeschool Blogger Network, and How to Homeschool My Child. Those are 3 different lists. But within my homeschool, I have my Raising Leaders people. I have all the approaches, Unit Study, Classical, Charlotte Mason Group. I have homeschool people, and school teachers, and some of those all overlap. And once I understood who those audiences were, communication became much more effective and much easier. Do you know the groups inside your list? You see, I think for me, it's being able to talk to people and figure out what I need to do. Group coaching often reveals audiences you didn't even realize existed. Members frequently discovered they're speaking to several groups at one time. One of my mastermind members, Chris, she was pivoting her business and she realized her list didn't have all, she had some, but she didn't have all her target audience. And it took her a couple times at our mastermind group and then go back and do some research. She's like, okay, I'm not going to just let go of these people, but I'm going to focus on the people that are my target audience. And I want to talk specifically to those people as well. Sometimes one conversation with other business owners uncovers what you've been missing for months. Those aha moments. I have a few members, they're like, talk, talk, talk. And then I'm like, well, I got the answer. They didn't even need us. They just needed someone to bounce their ideas off of. A lot of them would say just talking it out in our meetings has been totally helpful. And the other thing I just want you to know is we're going to be talking about this exact topic in our Family eBiz Mastermind and Homeschool Blogger University training on email marketing on July 7th. We'll talk about tagging and segmenting and demonstrate automations. How do we build relationships to our buyers? What is our buyers' journey as they come in? Do you treat everyone the same? They get a lead magnet, they get the welcome series, and then they're on the big list. No, you need a buyer's journey for your different groups. And then we will have Q&A at the end. But you do have to be a current Family eBiz Mastermind member or HBE person. Family eBiz focuses on growing and scaling a business, and HBU does similar things, but it's all in the homeschool market and content creation and blogging for homeschoolers. Now, biggest thing, different people need different communication. Are you communicating differently? Next week, we're going to talk about what happens when someone clicks and what some of you are doing wrong after those clicks. I'm Carrie Beck with Family eBiz. We'll talk to you next time.